Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and the bull market support band. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. We have a new week. We have a new video on our bull market support band. Some people say, why do you always have to name things in a really bad way? Let's say, hey, I called it a bull market support band and not a bear market resistance band. So let's just continue on with what we called it. Some things maybe I don't call them the best thing, but in this one, it was more of an optimistic view of looking at the market. Anyways, what did we say last week? That this week we should start to see the 20-week SMA start to turn over some. Why did we say that? Well, again, if you go back 20 weeks, we recognize that we're starting to replace some of these candles over here that are higher with finally some ones that are lower. So the bull market support band, again, consists of the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. And it has now dropped down to $48,040 for the 20-week SMA and $41,177 for the 21-week EMA. Of course, this will somewhat vary depending on which exchange that you use. So now that the 20-week SMA is coming down, will it ultimately provide as some level of resistance in the event of a rally in the future? Now, remember, the 20-week SMA is typically the line in the sand that you want to get above, see the price of Bitcoin go above it, then you watch it come back down to it, hold it as support, and that is what can make things bullish. We talked about this at length before, and then this is what happened. We held it as support. We said this is what's important. The last time we tried holding it as support when we were covering it on the channel was over here. It failed. It also failed over here. We finally held it as support, and what happened next? We blasted off, okay? So until then, we continue to play in the sandbox, okay? I mean, I know, again, yesterday, the last couple of days, the price of Bitcoin was dumping. Everyone was like, doom and gloom. Today, Bitcoin has pumped back up to, $34,000, $35,000, and everyone's happy again. At the end of the day, what has happened over the last month and a half? A whole lot of nothing, right? A whole lot of nothing. The price of Bitcoin has more or less been range bound between 30 and 40K. Okay, 30 and 40K. Essentially from these levels over here up to around 40K. I mean, we've gone above it a few times, but for the most part, that has been our range. 41K if you really want to encompass most of it, most everything. So while it has been somewhat of a crazy ride, what are we doing? We're just playing in the sandbox. I mean, nothing's really changed. The price of Bitcoin still remains between 30 and 40K. We said we do not expect a V-shaped recovery. We have not gotten a V-shaped recovery. It's been going sideways. What has happened? Altcoins have gotten somewhat destroyed. We're below the 20-week. Makes sense to me. This is what we speculated. Makes the most sense when Bitcoin's below the 20-week SMA. Altcoins get bearish, okay? So again, we're chopping sideways below the 20-week SMA. And until we see some significant move to where we go above the 20-week SMA, we continue to play in our little sandbox that we've been playing in for a number of weeks now. We're looking at about a month and a half. I mean, this is 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just started our 7th week. Obviously, this one was only partially in it because this is a full weekly candle. But we are now in our 7th week in this range. Obviously, not what a V-shaped recovery would look like, but a more drawn out accumulation phase as we continue marching through the summer. We are now at the end of June, so the next time we do a weekly update on the bull market support band, we will in fact be in July. And my speculation again is, in another week, we probably will not be looking at prices above the 20-week SMA because it would imply going to over, $48,000. Okay, so we have a long way to go in order for us to get bullish. If the price does rebound and we go up to the 20-week SMA, note that the 21-week EMA comes first. That's coming in hot at just shy of 41.2K. That would be an area that we would want to break through. Above that is the more important, in my opinion, 20-week SMA, which again is just over $48,000. So it's easy for us to get excited over $1,000 moves to the upside here and there, but when you look at the 20-week SMA and recognize how long we were above it and see how far away it is, sort of puts things into perspective into how far Bitcoin has fallen in a relatively short period of time. I mean, even with the rally today, Bitcoin is still down a modest 47%. So let's not lose sight of where we are, but also recognize that, these sorts of moves over here are somewhat irrelevant. Okay, they're somewhat irrelevant. We're moving sideways for a while. Some people are going to use that to, of course, accommodate their own strategies. And I think this is what people should be doing. You have to figure out what makes the most sense for you, and then try to execute on that strategy. And so again, this is what we cover on the premium list. I talk about my strategy, so check that out, intothecryptoverse.com. You can find a link to that in the description below. I think that'll wrap it up for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our update on the bull market support band. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out our store if you want some merch. We have t-shirts. You can check that out at store.intothecryptoverse.com. Definitely subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.